all used to enjoy, and finally reinventing what it means to have own and much more than that. We're also going to talk about how we're changing for the first time in 150 years the perspective of photography. We're talking about 360 video and VR. And last of all, we're going to talk about the future of social media, which is something that I've spent a little bit of time in my prior life before Essential about, but we feel that Essential and our democratization of 360 video is uniquely positioned to actually turbocharge. So let me tell you a bit about Essential Products. The company was founded by Andy Rubin about 18 months ago. We raised over $300 million between our A and B round. And it is a very big vision for the next 10 years about not only how AI is the next computing platform, but also about fundamentally what the nature of software and hardware is in our lives in an IoT world. Now, Andy founded this company because as we looked out at the consumer technology landscape, we noticed in the past 3 or 4 years that life had started to look like this, pretty incremental and pretty boring. 5 years ago, everyone was really proud about the phone that we had in our pocket. We would take it out and say, this is who I am, this is who I stand for, this is what I'm about, how I'm differentiated. And Andy noticed that that excitement has faded away as a duopoly has formed. And it's a duopoly has done a great job of maximizing profitability, but been very timid, we feel, about putting forward rapid-paced innovation at the same rate that we all used to enjoy it. I like to say that the phone business is a lot like the car market. It is a mixture of fashion plus utility. And using that analogy, we feel that H1 2017 was probably peak Model T. All right? Detroit used to be the Silicon Valley of the United States 100 years ago. And there was 100 car startups, then it consolidated to 2. And the past 40, 50 years, we've had an explosion again of what fashion utility can be. Different models, different form factors, different use cases for everybody. The same thing's about to happen in the phone space. And we very much feel that someone had to lead the charge to put innovation back into the mindset of this industry. As a result of that, we built this, the Essential Phone. It is not only wildly powerful with a Snapdragon 835 processor, there's no logo on the back of it. It's your phone. We've gotten rid of dongles. We have this beautiful magnetic accessory port that does 5 things. Power in and out, data in and out. You can use your phone as a data storage. We have 128 gigs of storage. You can use your phone to upload data to the cloud over a 4G network. You can also use your phone as a supercomputer to process data. And what you'll notice is attached to the top of that is the first of many accessories. It is the world's smallest 4K 360 camera, which I'm going to talk a lot more about. Our company is dedicated to the proposition that innovation is really just getting started in not only the mobile category, but the entire consumer technology space. Let's talk for a second about democratizing 360 video. I'm going to show you what this actually looks like. This is the world's smallest 4K 360 camera. And this is, we think, the world's most beautiful phone. It's certainly the world's most stylish phone. It's made out of titanium and ceramic. And you can see that we've effectively gotten rid of the entire border. We're narrower in the x-axis and most of the y, using LCD because we use titanium. The back has no band gaps. The back has no logo. There's glossy and there's black versions, and we're in thousands and thousands of Sprint retail stores today. Now all you have to do to actually use this camera is snap it onto the back. Magnetically attaches just like that. And you can see that we draw power from the phone itself. This device is as small as my thumb. It is also the most affordable 4K 360 camera in the world. And you can put it in your pocket, take it with you anywhere, and use it the same way that you actually use the camera on your phone, which is spontaneously. Nobody wants a power cable for their 360 camera. Nobody wants to have to charge it. No one wants to have to use a tripod. And for the first time in the world, you can actually take not only 360 video, you can take VR with you anywhere. For the last 150 years, we've had photography in one perspective. But the reality is, real life happens in 360. You want to know what it's like to capture video and footage and camera all around you, in all directions. This enables you to do that for the first time, and it will transform not only photography, but video. Let me show you a classic example of this. This is the Federal Building. I was in New York a few weeks ago doing our local launch event, and I took a walk around Wall Street. This is where Washington was actually inaugurated. And you can see what it looked like 100 years ago, and you can see what it looks like today. This is the New York Stock Exchange. It's actually just across the corner. If you use an internal camera on a phone, you have to choose whether or not you take a picture of the Federal Building or the New York Stock Exchange. But I happen to have this with me, and it changes everything. How many people in the room want to be able to do this next time you are standing in the middle of a crowded square, standing in the middle of the Acropolis, standing in the middle of your Thanksgiving holiday parties? It's really quite amazing. 4K 360, all in one shot. And if you put goggles on, you can actually see what it's like to stand exactly where I was. But the great thing about 360 video is you don't have to have goggles. You can look at that same photo or video on a phone, a tablet, or TV, and you don't have to carry goggles. And this is one of the reasons why I agreed with John Riccitiello a couple sessions ago when he said that VR is probably 5 years away from actually being something in the way that it's envisaged for gaming everywhere. I'll bet if I ask for a show of hands as to how many of you are carrying your VR goggles with you, I'll get no hands or one hand up in the audience. And this is why 360 video will reign supreme in the next 3 to 5 years. Now let's talk a bit about social media. I spent a lot of my life, the last few years, making celebrity games before I joined Essential. And Kim Kardashian's decent acquaintance of mine, I'd even say friend. I built her video game, did very well. She taught me everything there is to know about social media. And I've built a few other celebrity games as well. And what I've learned absolutely applies to what's going to happen with 360 video and the next leg of social media. Let's talk about the video space to start with. Video content is becoming more immersive. It's going to all screens. We talk about TV anywhere, and we also talk about social media. Now, for social media to work with any video platform, user-generated content has to happen. Today, you can't make, or rather prior to Essential arriving, you couldn't make VR video or 360 video without a $50,000 or $10,000 camera setup. It's great for professional video, doesn't work for the rest of us, doesn't work for social media. We've changed all of that. This is accessible, this is affordable, you can take it with you everywhere, and we're delighted to be partnering with YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook to make this a reality not only for video on demand, but streaming. Let's have a look at what your life in 360 can be. Remarkable stuff. That's just one of our industrial design team members going to the Color Factory here in San Francisco. So social media. We've come a long way since the early days of Tumblr, text-only situations, MySpace, GeoCities. We've gone from text to photos to video to disappearing video. And if I had told everyone in this room 4 years ago that in 2016, 2017, the bomb would be disappearing video, I don't think anybody would have believed me. In fact, I might not have believed me. I remember when I first met Kim, her sister, younger sisters, Kendall and Kylie, were in the house, and they were probably 12 at the time. And she told me that they were using this new thing called Instagram, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting. What is that?" And she said, "I don't know. It's something that the kids are using." Now you scroll forward to today, and Kendall and Kylie have more social followers on Instagram and Snapchat than probably Kim Kardashian herself, the pioneer, has. And that's because they were early movers on the platform. The same thing is about to happen for 360 video, but it's going to happen as a video format across all social networks. What the industry and the world has been waiting for is a product that is cheap enough, easy enough to use, that you can actually record VR, user-generated content anywhere you go out and about. Same thing happened, by the way, in video and digital photography. 10 years ago, nobody really had cameras on their phones that were any good. 5 years ago, video was just